Because whatever they're trying to learn is what we forgot. It's what we forgot. Don't belittle yourself. So if we come together,
But I was a bad boy too, you know.
you know, well, listen. I mean, we all know little ropes around. You know, when I see these young boys doing that, it's nothing. But we had a way of doing things. We didn't disturb the entire neighborhood. The only thing they do now is, you know, when they violate each other, they kill each other. When we didn't do that. You understand me? So we have to say to them now, enough is enough. You know what I mean? We must put the brakes on. There is nothing wrong with you riding your cycle, but you don't have to endanger my life, your own life that you don't respect on other lives. And when you fall off and bust your head, you become my responsibility, because when you go to PMH, we have to be responsible for you. So we're going to stop you from doing that.
Well, you know, Brother Ali, I think you're absolutely right. These young people just don't, you just don't understand your power.
Because let me
just say this, Brother Ali. If you put these 30 gangs or how much ever gangs in a conference, and the agenda is not criminality, the agenda is empowerment, survival as a people, what form of governance we want as a people, how we're going to change this country, how we're going to start farming and making industry. If that's the agenda, you know, and those 30 gangs come together, you know how much power that is? They are the most potent, powerful force in the country. The reason why they killed Fred Hampton in America, in Chicago, because he was able to sit down with those gangsters who were shooting up one another and say, look, man, this is about black people's empowerment. You need to stop doing foolishness. You all need to unite to empower your community. You have a responsibility as young people in your community to defend it from attack by people who want to destroy it. And this is what I see as a transformative effect. I agree with you, Brother Ali. I think, I mean, I don't want to commission the police to get in this at all. But, you know, I'd like to sit down with all of them 30-odd gangs in a conference, not to talk about gangsterism or rap. I want to talk about empowerment, how you could become the next prime minister who pop in that bike, how you could become the next banker who's sitting on the corner selling drugs, how you could become the next entrepreneur, the one who go in and robbing people and breaking in the house. Because, you know, I don't disown you. I can't disown you. You're mine. No matter how lousy you get, you're still mine. So I ain't gonna abandon you. I refuse to abandon you. And I'm begging you. Hear what Brother Ali said? Brother Ali is a man of wisdom. And when he telling you this, please listen. When you pop in that bike, think about, you know, some brothers just start a thing down by the track, one track they got Brother Ali. They can start to charge people to go and see it. You all hook up with them brothers because they got the right idea, the entrepreneurs. They're not showing off for the young ladies. I know you're showing off for the young lady, but when you get her, you still got to spend some money, you know. When you break your leg and break your neck, you just can't take out, and she can be going out with an old man like me because you get you down in the hospital bed. Please. But Ali,
yeah, you know, and again, like I said, we have so much resources. We now, I went to, talking everything at the same time, I went to see Utah Taylor.
Okay.
And his father. And to be honest with you, I went in there with somewhat of a closed mind, as to say his daddy didn't do right or whatever, based on what you hear. But after I sat there and listened to the whole thing, I was so moved. I have more respect for him. I have respect for Utah. Utah, to me, is an example that a lot of people can really look at as an example and follow.
Oh yeah.
When you look at the as an outsider looking in, the Bahamas is so equipped. The only thing that we need to do is come together. Stop being so hateful. of one another. Let's look at the good in you versus the sea. Because when I look at, you know, we all got bad ways, bad things about all of us. Ain't none of us righteous. But when I count your bad versus your good, the good outweighs the bad. So I'm going to leave the bad where it is and just deal with the good things about you. Let's deal with the good things about one another. Let's come to understand and ask the question, why are we so enslaved to a religion that takes us nowhere? You understand me? You want something and you want me to pass you something, and because I didn't pass it to you, you're going to say, let's take it to the Lord. The Lord don't want to hear this. He don't want to be bothered with you and your niggardly ways.
Well, you know, this is the problem. You know, our people looking for messianic solutions. They're looking, and they're just not going to happen. The only solution out there is you. There is no other solution. No prophet can drop out the sky. Ain't no comet can come strike these evil people dead. Y'all have to change it. Y'all have to get up and say, okay, Mr. Christie, Mr. Ingram, y'all having your convention. What you gonna do about the land? What you gonna do about the Grand Bahama Port Authority? You know that place up in Grand Bahama where in 1957 they thieved them people land and gave it to Groves? And now the government is, you know what they're doing down there, Brother Ali? I just come from up there. In Williamstown and Russelltown, the government is acquiring land, compulsory, so they could transfer, the private companies can go and take that land now and make a shipping harbor there for the cruise ships. This land where the Port Authority couldn't take from those people, they run them off that land with guns. Now, Mr. Christie, Mr. Ingram, it's time for you all to get this matter of the land straight. Mr. Fred Mitchell, I understand you having a committee of inquiry. You need to come talk to me, because I haven't heard anything yet that relating to historical specificity. You must be specific to history. And they're running from history here. The history of the matter is that when the loyalists came here, they got grants of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of acres. And when people were slaves, they had no land. And the only land they could take was the land they possessed. You hear Mr. Pinlan always say there was more land to be possessed. Well, that's the only way black people could take it, is to possess it. And by long possession, acquire title to it. And this is the battleground, Brother Ali. This is the battleground for our freedom. This is the battleground for our liberty. Without land, there can be no independence. Yep. There can be no self-sufficiency. There can be no talk. Because right now, you know, you look around the planet. I wish I had our map up here behind us. From the north to the south of Africa, from the east to the west of Africa, battles for land and water. Right now, there's a famine in the eastern coast of Africa. Yeah. Thousands and millions of people at risk because of poor tenureship of the land. Because the Europeans have gotten in the way that we don't tend the land the way we used to do in ancient times, Brother Ali. We need to return to the source. And I see what you're saying, but you know, part of the problem is, like with this Congress, a few people doing the work, many content to sit back and not do the work. And if the weight falls disproportionately on the shoulders of one or two, then the burden becomes unbearable. So this thing calls, like you say, for solidarity, for unity. You know, if you're not working with me, we can't go nowhere. You could tell me you're with me 100%. That's all the Bahamian public been doing to me. I'm with you, I'm with you. But unless you put your shoulder to the wheel with me, unless you become a scholar to study solutions, you can't solve the problems. Because you don't have the solutions in your head. It don't pop up like that. You got to study a problem. You got to study history of a problem. And then you come up with a solution.